Do you have control of your day? Meaning that when you get up, you know exactly what you need to do, your day is as productive as it can be, and at the end of the day, you are happy with what you've done. So that is my question today. Do you plan the day for success? So we're working on Momentum, a book written by Evan Carmichael, and we are looking at section 3 in his book about the momentum habits and the 7 habits to keep momentum going. So the habit number 1 is to have a morning routine. And when I think of a morning routine, I always thought that people had in mind, you get up at 5, you go to the gym, and you need to get going, and everything is specifically planned, so there's no room for change. And that's not true. When I think of a routine, I want to make sure that whatever I decide to do works in my schedule so that I have a better control of my life, and not the other way around when life happens to me and then I feel that it's out of control. So there's a few things that Evan mentions in his book that I love. And here's the first one. When you start a day, you start from scratch. And his idea is, since you start from scratch, may as well start positively. And that's a good thing. So how do you wake up positively? First of all, you need to be rested. So that means that you need to have planned your sleep. That means that you go to bed not too late, and when you wake up in the morning, you have the correct number of hours or the time that you need to rest. I know that Evan talks about the fact that he doesn't have an alarm clock, but for the way his schedule and routine is, he sets up his morning so that he does not need an alarm clock. And I'm sure he gets up more or less the same time every day. And if it happens that he wakes up an hour later, then it all works out for him. If he wakes up an hour earlier, it all works out the best way. So the idea is to start positively. Since every day starts new, may as well be positive about it. So the other one I have here is you need to keep your routine simple. By keeping it simple, then you'll feel that it's easy, you'll get some successes, and you'll be able to move forward. My morning routine always is the same. When I get up, I brush my teeth, and usually I go downstairs, I warm up the water, and I get a tea. And then I sit on the couch for about 30 minutes or so. During that time, I reflect on my day. I reflect, see if I had any dreams, and think about, okay, what are the things I'd like to do today? Now, interestingly enough, what I need to figure out is finding a plan to do to become healthier and become more physically active. So that's something I need to add there. And too often, by the time I finish relaxing in the morning and reflecting and ready to go, I don't have time to go and be active. So that's something I need to do. And I know that Evan goes for his morning walk, and I have a lot of respect for him because of that. As part of his routine, he also talks about the fact that in the morning, he sends a direct message to his community, and during his walk, he does a quick video that he sends to different platforms. And the interesting thing about that is that he knows that he's going to go for a walk. That's part of his routine. And as part of his walk, he is recording videos for his community. So he is doing multiple things at the same time. So meaning that he takes care of his health, but at the same time, building content for his communities. So maximizing his time, knowing that, you know what, if you don't schedule what you want to do, how will it happen? And that is basically the key parts here, having a morning routine that is positive for you. And then once you have control of your morning routine, then you know that this part is done. And I was listening to, I don't remember who it was. I would say Ed Milet, but it could be somebody else. He was saying that when he goes to the gym in the morning, it gives him a chance to go to the gym, do the workout, and then feel that he has achieved something. So even just before people get up, he's already satisfied with his journey, his day at the time. And I think that's quite amazing. The second habit, or the second momentum habit that Evan talks, is about chunking your time. And you know what? I do that all the time, and it works amazingly. As a high school teacher, my time during the day is all set in times. I have a period 1 in the morning from 8:05 till about 9:30, then period 2 from 9:30 till about quarter to 10. Then I have lunch, quarter to 10 to noon. So there are set amounts of time dedicated to class time, for lunch, and prep time. The beauty with that is that I know exactly what to do at what time, and everything gets done. So why can't it work the same way for your business, but also for all the great things you want to do? So for example, one thing I want to do is record a video a day. Sometimes I try to see if I can batch a whole bunch of video recording and then take another day to edit a whole bunch of videos. And you know what? At this point, every time I try that, it fails. And the reason for that is I love the routine of having an idea, recording it, editing the video, and posting it. That's a routine I have daily since the beginning of the year. So what happened is I love this routine. Some people say, well, it's not the most efficient. Maybe, but it's a routine that I love to do. It allows me to reflect on my day, reflect on learning. So I'm just looking at this book right now, making sure that I can be the best person I can be. But also by doing this, I just have to spend, 40 minutes in a day to get it done, which is a big difference than having to set aside hours and hours to do so. If you are part of a building, you can divide your day so that it works well. And Evan, when he chunks his time, he talks about the specifics, and I'll share that with you in a moment. So here's talking about how multitasking for some works well. For me, it doesn't work well at all. And he has what he called monotasking. You deal with one thing at a time, you take care of it, and then you move on. But the main thing here is you need to make decisions. You cannot just say that I'm thinking about a topic without making decisions to make it better. And that is a key part. So here, if you look at Evan's weekly routine, he's got Mondays, which are mentoring days, Tuesdays, YouTube days. We have Wednesdays that are project days. So that's his creative part. Thursdays are movement maker days and public interactions. And we have on Fridays his CEO days. So he knows that on those days, he's going to meet specific people. If he needs to record videos for YouTube on Tuesdays, he books the team for video so that all the files can be sent to the editor, and then it works out this way. So I think this is quite amazing when you think of chunking time. I don't know if you notice, sometimes if you decide to not chunk your time, let's say that you work all week, you get things done, then you get over the weekend, and then it's Saturday and you say, oh, well, I'm going to wake up, just relax a little bit. Then you watch a little TV, you make breakfast or brunch, you call a few friends, you decide to go and walk and take care of a few things. What happened is already 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and you feel you haven't done anything that you wanted to do. On the other hand, if for Saturdays you set your times, you can do a lot more. For example, I have my French YouTube channel for my science students. I have a live between 10 and 11 every Saturdays. So what happened is I wake up on Saturday morning, I just do my morning routine from 9 to 10, I do some prepping, 10, 11, I do my live, and then from 11 to 12, I do my editing. And then, by the time I get to noon, I have done a lot, and there's still the rest of the day to take care of. I even do tutoring at 4 in the afternoon. So by organizing my days, it allows me to do more. Now, I have to say that usually on Sundays, I keep it for my family and I. So that means that every so often, there's no plans. We go for walks, we call friends, we go for brunches. Even if we don't achieve anything from the list, if we feel that we feel better with each other, that is the key part here. So let's see what is the next bit here. I lost the page on the book. Imagine that. So here we have this one here. Remember, so we've got habit number 1, habit number 2 for chunk your time. Let's see what are my notes. If you're new to my channel, my name is Alain Faber, and this channel is about developing what you can do in a day in your life so that you can achieve your goals. And I am looking at this book here from Evan Carmichael, and every time I look at it, the better it gets. And when I read books, I always write notes. And by writing notes in the book, it's a great way for me to never forget my thoughts as I was reading the book. So here in this idea of chunking your time, you have to keep in mind that by doing so, you are being intentional with your time at those times. And living a life with intention allows you to get closer to your goals. But also, if part of what is important for you is your family, and you set aside time for your family, they will appreciate that very much. So for usually at home between 5 and 7 at night, that time is spent with my family. We see how things are going, how was the day, we eat, cook, we do all the things with the family. And by the time we get to 7, people have their things to do, so they go their own way, I go my own way, so I can work on other projects that I need to do. So I'm actually setting aside time at the end of the day for my family. This is being intentional. And the beauty with being intentional by chunking your time is that you can create new habits. Here I have something that I have if you want to create new habits. So if you want to create new habits, you need to desire that. So you have in mind that you have a desired habit. Let's say you want to go for a 30-minute walk every day. Okay. You need to figure out why that is important for you. Is that in line with your why? So I love to go for my daily walk, and the reason for that is I love being in nature. It relaxes me. But every time I walk around, I notice something new. I learn something new. And when I have a chance to reflect, that allows me to be energized. The next one is you need to figure out what are the triggers that may throw you off your habits. So here, for example, I do understand why people go to the gym between 5 and 6 in the morning. Nothing else happened during the day, so they can set that time aside. For my 30-minute walk, I make sure that usually I do that just before dinner. I finish what I have to do for work. I know I have to take care of dinner. I take the walk, gives me a chance to figure out what we're going to eat for dinner. But what happened is by setting the time, it allows me to say no to other things for those times. And then once you have a successful day, the main thing is you need to celebrate. Too often we forget that. So Evan in his book it's called Flex Days, I think. Give me a second. He calls them Flex the X calendar. So it is on his website. Let's see. It is on evancarmichael.com /momentum bonuses. And it is a quick calendar. I don't know if you can see it there. So it's a file. And his idea is to work for 18 days where you set up something you want to do, a new habit, and then every time you get it done, you put an X. It's positive reinforcement, and it allows you to feel happy about working on that. And therefore, this is the first 2 momentum habits for you. And guess what? I'm going to see, okay. On this, if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to put a link here to my playlist about my milestone journey, where every day we are reflecting on what makes us best and how we can be even better to get closer to our goals. On this, I'll see you in the next video.